They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. For every Transformers, there's a Transmorphers, for every Call of Duty, there's a Medal of Honor Warfighter, and for every JonTron, there's a DDG review. Shit. Yes, to know one has succeeded in life is to inspire a barrage of imitations from all walks of life. In video games, these often came in the form of bootleg cartridges. Sometimes they would come in collections such as the infamous Action 52, which tried to inspire a rival franchise to TMNT and Battletoads called the Cheetah Men, which were literally just furries on a cartridge and the game was shit.
Why do you keep beating me at this game? Are you being a cheetah man? No, I'm being a cheetah man! Ha ha!
These sorts of collection cartridges were somewhat convenient, and they claimed to have 50 to 100 to 52 games in one. Although they were an ethically dubious product, they were pretty cool to have, if they fit the claim, of course. I'd like to introduce you all to the All USA Color 64 in 1. Produced in an official Game Boy cartridge, probably ripped from the Tetris cartridge, this game claims to have 64 in 1, including some pretty big-name titles. Well, how does it stand up? Usually, with a cartridge like this, there's a particular game that is placed in the spotlight to sell the cartridge. Although not heavily featured on the sticker art, and I never received a box with this game, I can assure there is a certain star to this collection. I'm not going to spoil that yet though. Anyway, now we're in, we can see we're already met with a few games we all know and love. Dr. Mario, Mario Land 1, Lode Runner, Bomb Jack, and even Penguin Land and Battle Alley, as well as Tetris like I mentioned before. They all seem to function exactly as intended, and while I can admit I haven't ventured far enough into each of them to confirm they maintain their integrity throughout the course of the game, with the exception of maybe Dr. Mario and Mario Land, which I've replayed many times, there seem to be no visible differences to their authentic counterparts, which is a real nice plus. Unfortunately, this means there's no real point going through them all to review right now, because I'm sure most of you have at least played them yourself at some point.
Pills!
However, that's not all the games, right? After all, this thing is called 64 in 1. Let's go to the next page. Pitman and Flipball seem to work okay. I've never played or heard of either, but they have an air of production quality and polish to them. I mean, I really don't get Flipball. Am I shooting letters? What? Is this Scrabble for war buffs? Moving on, I guess I'll try Speed Tetris. Wait, this is just Tetris. This isn't any faster. Maybe that was a glitch. I'll try something else. Maybe Mario Puzzle? This is just Dr. Mario! I'll check the next page. SML looks different at least. Yeah, 64 games thing is bollocks. There is one game left that we haven't explored though. That game, you may have seen on this selection, is called Mario 4. I have no idea where this game came from. The thing that's always intrigued me about this particular game is how sort of near the mark it is. It almost seems official from the get-go. Aside from the poorly digitized Mario 64 cover art edit on the title screen, the sprites all sort of blend to make a conducive whole. I'm fairly certain they're all ripped from pre-existing Mario games, except for some obvious sticklers. First off, I'm fairly certain I've never seen Mario turn into black goop during his mushroom transformation before. Call it a hunch, but I feel like that's not a particularly nice state of metamorphosis to embody. Another stickler is how imprecise the jumps are laid out, and how they can only be approached in one specific ordering. Also, there are background layering issues when Mario jumps, but not when he descends, strangely enough. The origin of Mario's sprite is also severely undershot, making it incredibly misleading when treading close to edges and a sense of whiplash when turning left or right. Weirdest of all though, instead of throwing fireballs, Mario throws mushrooms? And not so much of a throw as an underarm slide, which has a delayed drop-off if thrown in the air. Interesting mechanic, but feels incredibly out of place for a Mario game. Along with nice music and acceptable level design and controls, this is something quite nice and original for what is quite possibly a ROM hack, right? Well, a bit of research actually led me to discover that Mario 4 is actually a sprite and layout hack of Crayon Shin-Chan 4. Well, I'm glad I can finally put this mystery to bed, although I'd hoped it was some sort of secret Mario game never released outside of Japan. I guess it's pretty cool to have something that allows me to switch through some of my favorite Game Boy games on the fly. even if it does contain up to 50 clone games. It's definitely not a detriment to own or play. If I see something like this in the wild again, I'll probably pick it up, and you should too. For a reasonable price, of course. But remember, if you're buying official, look for Daddy Nintendo's seal of approval on every official cartridge, kids. Did you like the video? Well, check out some of my other stuff. Why not? Give it a whirl, give it a try. You'll help me out, you'll help everyone around me out, which most of the time is just me. Do I pick one of the annotations? Go! Go!